Welcome back to J&J Dynasty. All right, we've got some news and notes to get to here. Hello, welcome to the dungeon. This is 2023 preseason. Week 2 has just ended. It's Thursday, so the games are going to start tonight for Week 3, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and one game Sunday. So kind of want to just go through some news and notes and do some updates on some things, kind of give people an idea of maybe who to pick, who not to pick, and things like that. Tonight in MFL is the waiver wire, because it's actually Wednesday. No, it's not Thursday. I was thinking it was tonight. So it's Wednesday night. So some key acquisitions to maybe go out and get in your league. Spend a bid buck for this. All right. So, once again, as always, thank you for the people who have subscribed. Appreciate that. I give you a big thumbs up, but please, if you like the video, if you get any content out of it that you can use, give me a thumbs up. Thank you for comments also. So I do appreciate those. And let's get into the video here then. All right. First things first. Sounds like Corey Davis is going through some things. This is going to hurt me bad. I had him penciled in as a sleeper pick. I was picking him up in several leagues and going through that process, being that I figured he'd be the number 2 wide receiver in New York, and I thought he'd put up some good numbers with Aaron Rodgers there. Apparently, that's all for naught. He may or may not come back this year. The way it sounds, he might be done with football, just from what I was reading. So Corey Davis, he's a cut candidate. I'm picking up and reworking a bunch of waiver wire acquisitions just because of this news. So that's the number one thing, right? So the next thing that we have, Trey Lance. It came out, I believe it was today on the NFL Network, and they said that Trey Lance is the number 3 quarterback. Sam Darnold is the number 2, so he's only going to be the emergency quarterback. So at this point, until Purdy doesn't make a start or isn't healthy, Trey Lance is not rosterable, and this is a big kick to the dingleberries for me because last year I traded Lamar Jackson for him. I got a little Trey Lance 2-4 and like 3-2 for at this time of last year when he was going to start. I thought that maybe he was going to take off and be really good and be young, and his value would just blow up. So I made a trade, and I lost on Trey Lance here. So that's a bad one. I mean, that's probably my only real regret in the last year of making trades. So that one really, really, really hurt. So that's the way it goes. All right, let's go on to this next one. Crazy signings. Zeke kills Ramondre Stevenson. Cook probably kills Breece Hall, Michael Carter, Israel, all these guys that were drafted. The running back situation is still in flux. Kendrick Miller showed up a little bit the other night, but Kamara's going to be hurt, or suspended for a while yet. And then also you still have Fournette and Hunt out there. Fournette doesn't even seem like he's looking for a job, so he's going to get replaced on a couple of my rosters with a kicker or a defense is what it looks like, because I'm not even going to be able to trade him for even a 4th-round pick or anything. But yeah, Fournette looks like he's going to wind up being a cut. Hunt looks like he's going to wind up being a cut. Oops. Keontae Ingram was where I was trying to go there. He showed up pretty well and looks like he's going to be the number 2 running back with Arizona. So he's a guy who's been in and on and off of waivers. So Keontae Ingram would be a guy that I am going after. Let me see some other guys that I've been going after. It's just a mishmash of just crap. Isaiah Spiller looks pretty decent this year. Week 1, he broke off a 70-yard run, but it was called back. So some of these young guys are getting a little bit of a chance, and the running back position is going to be turning over in the next year big time. When you get, like I said, you got Hunt, you got Zeke, you got Cook, you've got Kamara, Carson's already gone. I mean, all these guys that were in that magnificent class, even McCaffrey and those guys, they're getting to the age where they're going to get replaced. So these young guys are going to be replacing them. Get on these young guys and get them. All right. Jonathan Taylor. The next running back situations. Josh Jacobs sounds like he's going to report. Taylor was going to report. Now he's maybe reported, but he's not. Now he's saying he's injured and he might not play. He might be sitting out. It's going to be a crazy, crazy year with running backs this year. I hope you have a ton of them. If not, get more, because the landscape is just going to be changing constantly. It's going to be a terrible year. I just fear this year for running backs. Okay. Let's see. All right, so let's get to more positive stuff. Some guys who I'm high on, right? Musgrave in Green Bay. In Green Bay. It sounds like Love is going to be targeting him. Sounds like he's going to be a focal point of that offense. So Christian Watson's going to get his. I don't know if Dobbs or Reed are going to get theirs, but it sounds like Musgrave is going to get his. So I've been trying to pick up a few shares of him. I do have a couple shares of Higbee, because I do think that with Higbee and Stafford, I think that they're going to have a big year together. Cooper Kupp is supposed to be coming back this week to practice to be ready for week 1, but before Stafford got hurt and before Higbee got hurt the first time, he was getting 10 targets a game in the first three games of last season. So Higbee is a guy who's on my radar. All right. Another guy, Michael Thomas is a guy who I've been trying to pick up shares of. Him and Devonta Parker for New England. Parker's out there in a lot of leagues just because he's Parker. He doesn't play through injuries. He's hurt, but he is the number 1 receiver in New England. So I'm picking him up on the leagues where I'm a little bit short on wide receivers. I'm only hoping for 6 games out of him. I'm hoping I can either get a couple games out of him and then trade him for something better, or just get a couple games out of him, because I'm only picking him up for $1 on all these waiver wires throughout the thing. I'm actually trying to replace him. Parker replaced with Davis in a couple leagues. So that tells you where that's at. Keishawn Boutte also is in that class where sounds like he's coming up the board in New England a little bit. But Michael Thomas, I have a couple shares of him, and I don't like it, but I figure he's got to stay healthy one of these years, right? He's got to. Rashid Shaheed can't get on the practice field, so I'm dumping shares of him, and I'm trying to go after Michael Thomas because nobody seems to value him. I mean, he's valued like a 4th-round pick. If you could pick him up for a 3rd-round pick, I would do it, because when he was in the game last year, he was putting up big numbers. So he's the kind of guy that I would want to go after and go get some of those shares, right? Any other guys out there that I'm thinking of off the top of my head? Nope. All right, let's go. Getting to, I kind of gave away one of my things was Musgrave. So I've gotten a couple shares of Laporta. I've got a couple shares of Schultz. I've got a couple shares of Ferguson here. Ferguson is the number 1 tight end. Don't be fooled by Schoonamaker. Don't be fooled by the draft capital. This is the guy in Dallas. I'm picking up one more share of him, and I think that's going to make 5 shares of Schoonamaker. I was picking him up in the late 4th round in drafts. I was reserving a spot just to pick him up at the end of the 4th round. So he's probably going to be a tight end, top 10 tight end. Musgrave has a shot of doing the same thing. So, I mean, my guys, I like Higbee. I like, if you're not going to go after one of the big 4 or 5 tight ends, right? I like Ferguson. I like Schultz. I like Laporta. I like Musgrave as far as the rookies. I think I said that Kincaid, number 1, Laporta, Musgrave, 2 and 3. After that, I really don't want to do anything with any of the rookie tight ends. So I've got a share of Irv Smith, and I think that I'm going to wind up getting rid of that just because Joe Burrow doesn't throw a lot to the tight end. He gives big plays. He's going to get 2 or 3 catches, but even at that, I don't think that I'm going to be doing that. It also sounds like John Mechie is second string wide receiver at this point. I thought he would come out and be the number one, but it sounds like they're trying to push Nico Collins with that as the number one receiver in Houston. All right, let's see if we got anything else left. Well, that sounds like that looks like that's about the end of this video, because I don't have any more slides to remind me of anything that I want to say. So once again, if you got any good information out of this video, give me a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button. It's always appreciated. And leave a comment. Until next time, take care, I guess. Deuces, as the cheetah would say. Deuces.